Raki Kaushik, who is our justice partner, and that will be given by Prashant.
So this is from Raki Kaushik. Good morning. I have some exciting news about our community's mental health services. CHAC recently signed a letter of intent to be acquired by Pacific Clinics. Pacific Clinics has been a trusted provider of behavioral health and adoption services in California for over 150 years. This partnership aims to enhance mental health services and ensure stability for the long term. The acquisition, expected to be finalized by July 1st, marks the end of an era for CHAC's long-standing model. However, it opens door to new opportunities for collaboration and expansion of services. The decision comes after financial struggles, including the closure of a drop-in clinic due to challenges in accepting certain payments. Despite the changes, CHAC will retain its name and offices in Mountain View. Both CHAC and Pacific Clinics share similar missions and values, focusing on school and community-based mental health services. The acquisition will enable CHAC to access additional revenue streams, ensuring continuity of services for our community for a long time. This partnership represents a positive step forward in meeting our community's mental health needs. Pacific Clinics and CHAC are committed to ensuring that essential services continue uninterrupted, while also exploring new avenues for growth. Thank you for your attention and support, and we hope to stay connected in the future as well.
And now let us begin our service.
If you're on Zoom with us and if you have a chalice there with you, please light it along with me. Here today, in this place and with these people, may we listen so that we can hear. May we hear so that we can feel. May we feel so that we can know. And may we know so that we can change ourselves and this world. May this chalice we light our way.
With our centering words each week, we draw on the many sources of our living tradition. Today's words are from The Prophet by Khalil Gibran. Let there be spaces in your togetherness, and let the winds of heavens dance between you. Love one another, but make not a bond of love. Let it rather be a moving sea between the shores of your souls. Fill each other's cup, but drink not from one cup. Sing and dance together, and be joyous, but let each one of you be alone. As we follow the sound of the bell into silence, we allow ourselves to arrive here fully. So next for the story for all ages, we have one that many of you may have read before. It's The Giving Tree by Shel Silverstein. Once there was a tree, and she loved the little boy, and every day the boy would come and he would gather her leaves and make them into crowns and play king of the forest. He would climb up her trunk and swing from her branches, and when he was tired, he would sleep in her shade. And the boy loved the tree very much, and the tree was happy. But time went by, and the boy grew older, and the tree was often alone. Then one day the boy came to the tree, and the tree said, "Come, boy, come and climb up my trunk, and swing from my branches and eat apples, and play in my shade, and be happy." "I'm too big to climb and play," said the boy. "I want to buy things and have fun. I want some money. Can you give me some money?" "I'm sorry," said the tree, "but I have no money. I have only leaves and apples. Take my apples, boy, and sell them in the city. Then you'll have money and you'll be happy." And so the boy climbed up the tree and gathered her apples and carried them away, and the tree was happy. But the boy stayed away for a long time, and the tree was sad. And then one day the boy came back, and the tree shook with joy, and she said, "Come, boy, come and climb my trunk and swing from my branches and eat apples and play in my shade and be happy." "I'm too busy to climb trees," said the boy. "I want a house to keep me warm," he said. "I want a wife, and I want children, and so I need a house. Can you give me a house?" "I have no house," said the tree. "The forest is my house. But you may cut off my branches and build a house. Then you will be happy." And so the boy cut off her branches and carried them away to build a house, and the tree was happy. But the boy stayed away for a long time, and the tree was sad, and when he came back, the tree was so happy she could hardly speak. "Come, boy," she whispered, "come and play. I'm too old and sad to play," said the boy. "I want a boat that'll take me away from here. Can you give me a boat?" "Cut down my trunk and make a boat," said the tree. "Then you can sail away and be happy." And so the boy cut down her trunk and made a boat and sailed away, and the tree was happy, but not really. And after a long time, the boy came back again. "I'm sorry, boy," said the tree, "but I have nothing left to give you. My apples are gone." "My teeth are too weak for apples," said the boy. "My branches are gone," said the tree. "You cannot swing on them." "I'm too old to swing on branches," said the boy. "My trunk is gone," said the tree. "You cannot climb." "I am too tired to climb," said the boy. "I'm sorry," sighed the tree. "I wish that I could give you something, but I have nothing left. I'm just an old stump, and I'm sorry." "I don't need very much now," said the boy, "just a quiet place to sit and rest. I'm very tired." "Well," said the tree, straightening herself up as much as she could, "well, an old stump is good for sitting and resting. Come, boy, sit and rest." And the tree was happy. And that's where the story ends, but we added another line. But was it really? The moral of the story is that it's important to be kind to yourself before you can be kind to others. Otherwise, you may end up like the stump. Just something to think about. Next, please rise in body or spirit, and please join in singing "Comfort Me," number 1002, in the teal hymnal. The words are on screen and in the order of service.
Reverend Cat would like all the children to meet her in the lobby. We now turn our thoughts to the important events of our lives, which we wish this community to share. Let us now take a few moments of silent prayer or meditation to hold all that we have heard and all that which was left unsaid, with compassion and care. Blessed be.
You are not special. While this may seem like an odd way to start a reflection about kindness, bear with me and I'll show you why it's one of the most important parts of actually practicing it. Try to think of the last time you really lost it to something embarrassing. Someone took the last bag of Skittles from the store right in front of you, you got cut off in the highway, or someone on the sidewalk was talking just a bit too loud. And then try to think about why. Maybe there's an immediate reason that you can see, but try to look a little bit further than that. Maybe it's because you really care about Skittles, but more likely than not, the reason you're upset is that you took something like that personally. The guy on the freeway doesn't know who you are, and yet you act like he chose you specifically to cut off. We like to think that it's something to do with us. Why has God forsaken me? Or why am I such an unlucky person? In short, we like to think that we're special people with special problems that nobody could possibly us. While the second part may be true, the first means that we don't really see other people as people, but instead as obstacles, annoyances, and challenges placed for us, the heroes of the world. The guy on the highway was careless, but he also might have been rushing to the hospital or needed to help someone out, or even had a reason to be going fast other than, I gotta annoy the crap out of this guy. Personally, I'm always upset at airport employees since I need to fly back and forth as an international student, but at the end of the day, they're overworked employees doing what they're told, and apart from the fact that I might get searched more than the average person at security for reasons, I'm really not being singled out. Basically, I'm not special for having a crappy airport experience because nearly everyone there is also dreading the process. So in the interest of keeping it brief, just try to remember that you're not special, and maybe that'll bring you one step closer to cultivating a kinder existence for yourself and for those around you. Next we have The Guest House by Rumi, translated by Coleman Barks. This, being human, is a guest house. Every morning a new arrival, a joy, a depression, a meanness, some momentary awareness comes as an unexpected visitor. Welcome and entertain them all. Even if they're a crowd of sorrows who violently sweep your house, empty it of its furniture, still treat each guest honorably. He may be clearing you out for some new delight. The dark thought, the shame, the malice, meet them at the door laughing and invite them in. Be grateful for whoever comes, because each has been sent as a guide from beyond.
Thank you everyone for joining here and on the Zoom. I'm really happy to be here. This is my favorite place. No, it's not Disneyland. It is UUCPA. Sorry, all the Disney fans. Just better conversations here. And talking about conversations, this talk will also be a conversation. So please be ready to raise your hands when we come to that part. Does anyone know Jim Scott? He's a musician from East Coast, and he writes music dedicated to conservation, equality, and humanity. And there was a time when I used to listen to this song every single day. I'm not going to sing it, but I'll just read the lines. I would just assume, let some days go by without worrying about things I haven't done. I would just assume, let some days go by without worrying about battles never won. I would just assume, let a woman or a man live in peace in the world. And before we judge the way they lead their lives, we would be prepared to lend a hand. There is a way, and there is an ease to life we lead if we just release and let it be that way. So homework assignment for everyone, please listen to this song. There is a way, Jim Scott. So how do we find that ease and release? So today's topic is kindness and awareness, and they literally go hand in hand, but in a little bit different way than what we would expect. Let's just get one thing clear at the outset. I'm not talking about us becoming vegetables or becoming angels. The last week, or in the last 1 week, I have been angry at something, I have been sad at something, afraid of something, excited about something, wanted a connection, and cared for something. Just wanted to get that out there. So not looking for vegetables and angels. But talking about vegetables, I was at a grocery store the other day fumbling through self-checkout. And suddenly an arm touched mine, and I was like, whoa, what is this? There was a lady who was trying to help me do all the prompts. And she was like, no, you're doing it all wrong. You need to first do all the big screen things and then do the payment thing. And I was like, wait, what? And there was a big anger and rage came up. And I was no longer fumbling. I became an expert at self-checkout in that instant. Like, how dare you? Like, I'm doing my stuff. I didn't even ask for help. So that rage came up. Fortunately, there was awareness, and it noticed that rage which came up. And it was kind to that rage, like an adult self rocking the child part of me on its knee. And I had those angry thoughts and all those rage and then kindness, mix of all of that went on for a minute towards myself. And then slowly, I was able to turn that over a few minutes. It actually naturally turned towards the woman. And I noticed that she was an employee who was angrily wiping all the self-checkout screens. Her face was frozen and stony. And I was like, somebody has to be really miserable or has to have a miserable morning to be interrupting someone while they were going through their stuff without actually having a problem. So I was kind. I felt some kindness. And I thought to myself, maybe I should have been prepared to lend a hand before I judged. But I just did judge already. And Jim Scott's lyrics are aspirational. That's not what actually happens in life. But in life, we do get all these emotions, and then if we turn towards them and relax into them, we can access some kindness. Okay, so I promised an interactive part. Does anyone get reminded of a time when at the beginning of that interaction, you did not have kindness, but something happened, and you were like, I can see this in a different way, and I feel much kinder towards myself and everything else which is happening around me. A little bit of a complicated prompt, but I'm sure we have few brave people who are going to raise their hands. Okay, we have two already. I think we need to have the microphone on.
Yeah? Can you hear?
Yes, go.
Okay, good. This was kind of a weird situation. I was in a political group, and there's one person who's really obnoxious. And we're going round and round on what to deal with it, and I keep stopping the guy who's leading the group going, we need to create a situation where we don't get her defenses up, or we start just taking the temperature down. But it takes a lot of emotional wherewithal to get there. It's a process.
Thank you, Pam. I think we have one more on the back over there, on the left. Thank you, Aarav.
This is Gloria. It's always about driving. I get aggressive, and in my thinking as well as my actions. And he's nodding his head because he sees that when I'm driving. But there are times, especially when I'm on a straightaway and somebody cuts me off, and so I'm still driving, that I can say they must have something very important to do. And at that moment, I can take a deep breath and calm myself, but it only lasts a very short time.
We'll all make sure to watch out for you in the parking lot then.
Okay, do we have any more? Going, and gone. Kindness is a soft, gentle, bodily feeling, a very pleasant feeling of love and gratitude, which comes up when other intense emotions and thoughts are put away for a moment. And awareness is the faculty which lets us access those emotions, access that internal world, including those intense feelings. And if we can relax that physical tension, and this is a crucial part, there is a tension inside us, and if we can relax it, and we can bring something uplifting like a smile, then we could access kindness. So why are we talking so much about the body? One important thing is thoughts can lie, but body cannot lie. So if you agree with this question, if you agree with this premise, the question still remains on how do we listen to the body? By practicing. So if you're new to noticing what the body says, starting with where you feel what helps. For example, oh, I'm tired. So where are you tired? Maybe you're tired in your legs, in your lower back, in your neck, all over. I'm angry. Like, where are you angry? Maybe your face is hot. I'm happy. I'm feeling loved. Maybe it's in the chest, in the forearms. But just being aware is not enough. Cultivating the capacity to feel balanced while uncomfortable sensations are going on is a crucial part of opening up to kindness. Buddha talked about physical tightness in the body. He called it tanha. A lot of people translate it as craving, but craving has connotations of mental desires. But what we are talking about really is a physical tightness, which you experience in the body whenever you're trying to resist something. You're trying to resist an experience. This was brought up as part of the Four Noble Truths. And also in Satipatthana Sutta, he talks about calming the body tightness while being aware of whatever is going on. One big clue here is that in order for us to get to calmness and kindness, it is not important what is going on in our experience. What is important is how we respond to it. And if we are reducing it too much, then let me just say that if we can only relax, if we can only release and let it be that way, Jim Scott, we could get there. So let's try a couple of exercises right now. Everyone, if you could please make a fist and try to make it a little bit tight. And notice that. Notice that tightness in your hands. And let's now release it. See how that feels? Like you have tightness and then you release. And next exercise, let's try knitting our eyebrows like this. Like you're angry and then release. That's the physical tightness which Buddha was talking about. And there are lots of those tightness in the body, small ones, which we can feel as we get more and more aware. It's very, very simple, but not easy. What makes it easy, though, is having a baseline of calmness. If you have calmness, then it is easier to be aware, it's easier to let go, and easier to relax that tension. But we can't expect that baseline calmness to be there by default. We need to cultivate it. And there are a couple of ways which I cultivate it. Is one, through loving kindness meditation, where you give yourself love and give others love, and that helps me relax. I use yoga, and if you have synchronization of body and breath, then your body is sending signals back to your brain, telling it to calm down. And if it is calm, then it helps you. A lot of people do gardening. Some people like walks. A lot of people like to talk to their friends, a therapist. There are lots and lots of these techniques. All of us are different. On specific situations, our specific reactions, the type and weight of our baggage, and time in life may dictate what might work for us. What are your ways of feeling calm? What are your ways of letting go? How can you do more of those? If you're interested to learn more about other techniques, I have many to talk about and which you could do afterwards. Here is the other thing. Tightness and these experiences stack on top of each other. So the next time when I went to that same grocery store at the self-checkout line, I was afraid. Not only angry, but I was also afraid because somebody might just come to me and tell me that you were doing it all wrong. So now I had another layer. Afraid of the arm, afraid of the frozen face and all that. And knowing that internal world, I could turn towards my fear, relax it, and could be in that mush of fear, anger, kindness altogether. But let's notice how I got programmed to be angry at self-checkout lines now. How I got programmed to be afraid at the self-checkout lines now. And now imagine this happening over time, over many years, decades, how these layers form and how they become a sedimentary rock inside us. If possible, be kind to that rock. Often in the face of emotional distress, we start to abandon ourselves. We also berate ourselves. But we can remind ourselves to be gentle. If you berate yourself for having those intense emotions or numbing down, and realize that you're doing that, one good trick is to bring that into attention, bring that into awareness. Okay, there is berating going on. There is abandoning going on. And then relaxing the tension around that. So whatever is at the top of the stack, so if you think of it as a sedimentary rock, then whatever is at the top, that needs the awareness. Oh, I can't do this. Okay, so let's take I can't do this and start from there. And it's not that we are alone. We live in a very relational world where we negotiate, we argue, express, fight, support, care, and love to get what we want. All of that to me is a fair game. We are humans. Once again, not vegetables and not an angel. Wanting to become either of those are not healthy goals in my opinion. Let's welcome all that human silliness in our guest house, like Rumi said. And these emotional interactions actually sometimes are rough, but they can pave way for more silliness and love and closeness. Here are two other things about kindness and awareness. Kindness and awareness are multipliers. More you do it, other people around you do it also. Thich Nhat Hanh has this story where he was talking about a boat full of immigrants who were overloaded boat who was passing by and the boat sank. Everybody died. And while it is a sad story, he used that as an illustration that even if one person in that boat was sending out calmness and awareness, everybody else would have calmed down and things would have been different or could have been different. Do I have all the pages here? So kindness and awareness are multipliers. Let's try something for real. While we are here, we just tried relaxing our tension. So let's take a moment. If all of us could settle down and take a moment to practice this. If you see any obvious tension in your body, like your shoulders are hunched up, back is tight, just relax. Just take a deep breath, just relax. And let's invite that kindness towards ourselves. May I be happy. May I feel loved. May I feel safe. May I feel connected. And let's see if you could do that for people around us in this room or in the Zoom next to you. May they feel safe. May they feel loved. Keep a little smile. May they feel connected. And let's take this beyond us to the city we are in, to everybody around us, and keep spreading that out to everyone on this planet. May they feel safe and loved and connected. And to all beings in the world, to all dolphins and birds, all the animals and pets, may all feel loved, connected, and safe.
And now comes the part where we ask y'all for money. As part of the free church tradition, we accept no money from any governmental body, nor do we receive money from any ecclesiastical authority, in order that we shall remain free to govern ourselves. In addition to their annual pledges, each week our members and friends may choose to give an additional contribution as a public witness that we are and shall remain a free faith. With our offering, we also assert that we are part of the interdependent web of existence. 1 week per month, your gift goes to the community organization we have chose as our justice partner, and this week is that week. You can use cash or check or the QR code to text info in the order of service. Please give generously to our partner, the Community Health Awareness Council that we talked about a little bit earlier. Please rise and bow to your spirit, and please join in singing Filled with Loving Kindness, number 1031 in the Teal hymnal. The words are on screen and in the online order of service.
By Maddie's Fentonus. We extinguish this flame, but we keep its light in our hearts with its message of love and justice, taking it outside these walls to the world we live in until we are together again.
Feet.
Whether online or here in the main hall, please stay after the benediction for our conversation time. We all begin with greeting time, a chance to speak to someone you haven't met before or haven't seen in a while. Some weeks say, oh,